Welcome, adventurers. Today on Rebel Then King, I am opening up my advanced copy of the Battlecry book for the first time. The thing that I jumped to after a very long workday, I worked until after midnight on a Friday, go me, is the new Thaumaturge Implement. Now, the reason I did this, why I'm most excited for this, is if you remember, I recently made a video about trying to decide what to do in my next campaign, and I wanted to do a support marshal, and the character concept that I liked the best was a shield-based thaumaturge. Now, one thing I realized about a day after publishing the video, but it took about a week for someone to catch on and comment, is that concept did not work. Rules as written, I can't play that character that I presented in that video. And that's because rules as written, I was using an amulet, that was my implement in one hand, and a shield with the shield boss in the other. Now, that would be fine for the most part, but in order to use the implement's empowerment to add some damage to my boss, shield boss weapon, the rules actually state you can't have anything in your other hand other than a one-handed weapon, which a shield and shield boss is not, or other esoterica. So that didn't work. But now, with the shield implement, it will. What does the shield implement do? It's pretty decent. I was hoping, at least at level 1, the initiate benefit would be a little bit more exciting, but it's still pretty cool. If your shield implement would be reduced to 0 hit points, it's instead reduced to 1, okay? And its circumstance bonus to AC when you raise the shield is reduced by 1. And you can't shield block with your shield implement until it loses the broken condition. You can still use your shield as an implement even when it has the broken condition. So, the cool thing about this is, if you have like a steel shield with an AC bonus of 2, once it's broken, you can still raise that shield and get at least an AC bonus of 1 out of it. That's kind of the crux of what we have going on here. And then it does also say at 5th level, whenever you exploit vulnerability, you can also raise a shield as a free action. That's pretty neat too. So this definitely is all about using shields. I do kind of wish there was a little bit more like, just, I don't know, like 2 free points of damage reduction with the shield block, or an immediate ally bonus or something like that, to be a little bit more in that support marshal kind of a role that the Thaumaturge also plays. This is just a little bit more of a singular defense. And to be perfectly honest, the rules as written where you can't use a shield or, another implement with a shield and a shield boss and use implement's empowerment almost seems like not as intended, even though it is. And it's almost like we're getting an implement just to make up for that shortcoming, where I would kind of hope that this initiate benefit at least would do a little bit more and not just seem like a backfill in a way. But I'm still considering it, because as you go into the later levels at the adept benefit, you gain status bonus to your saves against spells and other magic, equal to the circumstance bonus to AC from your shield. Okay, so now this is magical defense as well. In addition, damage you take as a result of a spell or magic effect while your shield is raised can trigger your shield block reaction, even if the damage isn't physical. So this is definitely cool. At level 7, at the adept benefit, now you can block magical damage in addition to physical damage with your shield. Also at this level, this is where you would be able to pick up, I think earlier actually, your second implement. And at that point, well, with that second implement, you can now hold it in one hand and your shield in the other. Although, I suppose you could also swap things too. But this is where I would now get into the sort of fantasy that I had of that character, of doing a shield in one hand and an amulet or a chalice or something like that in the other for like double protection. As this moves on, it does get even more fun. Intensify vulnerability. Every drop of blood you spill bolsters your shield. If you succeed at a strike against the target of your exploit vulnerability, your shield regains a number of hit points equal to half your level. This is really cool. You get to refill your shield's hit points as you're moving along, as you're making strikes. It's a little bit actually. I mean, if I'm sure some of you here played Space Marine 2, right? It's like when you recharge your shields by making a strike, or in that case, it was like a good block strike, what, but like the best defense is a good offense, because in this case, literally the actions of your offense boost your defense. This is where this really starts to pop off, if you ask me. This is where this implement starts to get really fun. I do wish there was just a sliver of this or something at the initiate benefit, especially since a lot of the Thaumaturge implements have that sort of the target of your exploit vulnerability clause on them. And this is the first we've seen it at level 9 for this particular implement. So that's kind of interesting. And then as we move on, the Paragon benefit. When you have your shield implement raised, the circumstance bonuses from your shield, both to AC and to save against spells and other magic effects, also apply to all your allies within 15 feet. Okay, that's already great if you ask me. But then you can use your shield block reaction in defense of yourself or any of your allies within 15 feet. This is awesome. So there we have it, the shield implement, which finally lets me actually play that super awesome character concept, the tough little Tanuki Thaumaturge that I wanted to play. I can do it, rules as written, though it does suffer a little bit earlier on, because with my previous understanding, before I caught the problem with my previous build, I was going to have a shield in one hand and an amulet in others, so I would be able to shield block myself and then also use an amulet to defend others if need be. I won't be able to do that at level 1 with this new shield implement. It is sort of just a self-serving shield all the way up until level 17. So it's a lot of it, let's say, less of a support marshal. Still very fun, very awesome, very thematic for this book. So I'm going to try to read into some more things tomorrow. I do have family coming into town. Boo family, boo friends. And then I have to go to San Francisco for work all next week. Maybe I'll film more from the hotel room. I don't know. Catch you next time, adventurers.